Hi, I'm Matt Atwood, one of the CFPs at Timewise Financial. You might have noticed, if you went out lately, that your favorite restaurant is a little short-staffed. With the economy nearly back to full employment participation, many of you are wondering, where did all those workers go? So, today, we wanted to take a look at the state of the restaurant industry and its very apparent labor shortage. So, without further ado, let's jump right in.
The restaurant industry definitely faced its hardest year in many decades in 2020. Overnight, their patrons were forced into lockdown, leaving expensive leases and equipment unused for months in many cases. Though now that things are slowly but surely returning to normal, these restaurants cannot find staff. We found this to be interesting considering that claims state unemployment is at all-time lows and almost everyone is back to work. This begged the question, where did all these hospitality professionals go? Here are our findings and the three largest reasons why your favorite restaurant might be struggling. The first is change of industry. Many workers have left the restaurant industry to seek jobs elsewhere. According to a recent study, 30% of former restaurant employees found office positions and 17% went into teaching or education. Many have also turned to industries that are experiencing tremendous growth. For example, warehouse and logistics jobs, following a boom in online sales, are up 278% since the start of the pandemic. And on-demand jobs like Uber and DoorDash, which provide more flexibility for both workers and employers, are up 183% compared to before the pandemic. Most workers are leaving the restaurant industry for these top three reasons. One, to receive higher pay. Two, for access to a consistent schedule and income. And three, because they lack access to professional development and promotion opportunities. And this is all according to a recent survey by Snagajob. Now, in addition to changing industry, you can also blame empty restaurants on reason number two, customer abuse. Though restaurant pay is improving, rates of abuse inflicted by both customers and managers have been rising during the pandemic. Workers in the hospitality industry are forced to subject to ever-changing COVID protocols, meaning they are required to wear precautions at the discretion of their employer or government, whether they wish to or not. Additionally, they are often forced to police the public, depending on their local guidelines, and force customers to wear masks, which can often lead to some tension. Over 60% of restaurant workers cited being told by customers that if they did not take off their masks, they would not be left a good tip. This can be a lot to deal with, most certainly, for a base pay of only $2.13 per hour. And then lastly, there's the risk of contracting COVID. Many restaurant workers are strapped for cash and therefore live with family. This can mean that there are often older parents or grandparents or even young children staying in their home, and they may be worried of bringing the virus back. Working in a restaurant means working closely with the general public, and therefore potentially sick patrons. So, while we all can agree that the pandemic has subsided in many ways, one other factor that has been pushing workers out of the restaurants is increased wages at companies like Amazon. While all of the craziness in the world was taking place, the pandemic led a surge in online shopping that set companies like Amazon on accelerated hiring sprees. Starting in July of 2020, the company was bringing on about 2,800 employees a day, mostly in its warehouses. By October of 2020, Amazon's workforce topped 1 million employees worldwide, adding 500,000 new jobs over the prior year alone. Additionally, in 2021, Amazon began with even fiercer hiring goals, and the company in April said it would invest $1 billion to give workers a raise of $3 an hour, a sizable increase for a company whose minimum wage had been $15 an hour since 2018. With almost 1 million workers in the US now, Amazon is the second largest employer in the country, only second to Walmart, which employs 1.6 million people. This is just one example of a company that had increased demand driven by the pandemic, driving both wages and hiring up drastically. The challenges we outline, combined with the possibility of higher pay and more consistent schedules elsewhere, have led restaurant workers to leave the industry in droves. Employees who remain in the industry are left scrambling to serve customers and fulfill to-go orders, as restaurants have been forced to close dining rooms and cut operating hours to help curb the impacts of continued labor shortage. For some restaurants, the labor crunch has even led to them unfortunately shutting down for good. While this is tough for restaurant owners, it means many workers are now making more money with more consistent schedule, enabling them to spend more money in their community. So next time you're in a local mom and pop shop and have to wait while waiting to get served, you at least know why. That being said, thank you for watching, and please share this video with anyone you know who might be interested. Be sure to check out our website and reach out via phone or email if we can help you attain your financial goals.